Have you ever just wanted to open your computer, hit record, and have a song demo without having to worry about any technical difficulties or aspects of a DAW? Look no further than this video, as I've crafted a foolproof Ableton template that I specifically designed for beginner artists or bands that just want to get their ideas down. Not only in a quick and efficient way, but also sounding pretty great too. I hope you enjoy the video and find it useful. I will be selling this template online for a small fee, but you can create it from scratch yourself if you watch the video in depth. But if you're like a lot of people out there that don't know too much about DAWs or the art of recording, you might want to do yourself a favor and pick up the template, as it might come in very handy to you. As always, if you like the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you'd like to see next. Okay, so welcome back to the channel. Before we started, I know I said it already in the last video, but I wanted to say again, thank you so much for the support on all the videos. I have not been expecting this amount of positive feedback, so if anything, it's just making me want to do them more, and I just want to keep bringing more and more content for everyone out there that actually cares and gains value from these videos. It's great for me. I really enjoy making them, so I'm going to keep them coming. Now, before we get into this template, I have it open up here on the screen, as you can see. I just want to quickly let you know that there are audio files in this version of the template, as I want to show you a quick run through of how things sound in the template. But when you load yours up, it will be completely blank, but with all these tracks. I'll give you a quick rundown of the format of it and explain everything throughout. So once you do get the template in your DAW, you can refer back to this video, and hopefully I can guide you through step by step to make it easier for you to not feel confused. I didn't go too in depth with this template. I kept it fairly simple. There are just basic tracks and groups. There isn't any sends, so all the effects that are on these tracks are just built into the group. So starting out up here, we have the vocal area, I guess you could say. We have our vocal bus, which is up here, which is going then into, so essentially these 5 vocal tracks, there's 4 of them actually. There's BGs, hook, lead, and vox record. These are all getting sent to this lead vox bus group. You can click on your group. These are all the settings that are in there. So as you can see here, we have a compressor starting off. So I'm not going to get too technical into what's going on, because again, I know that this is more for beginners, but essentially I want you to know that everything that I'm doing in here is what I would do normally with, you know, third-party plugins, more expensive ones, but I wanted to use all Ableton stock plugins. There's not even an Ableton Pro plugin in here. It's just all Ableton Live 12 standard edition. So anyone that has any Ableton license can access this. I'm pretty sure even if you have Live Lite, you can access it. So just bear that in mind. So starting off here, we have this compressor. I have the attack and release set to an 1176 style compressor. This is my favorite compressor to use on vocals. I want you to know that the sweet spot for recording into all these chains is -10 dB. You need to make sure that your level going in to the bus is at -10 dB. So when you come back out of it, you're not going to be pushing through the compressor too heavy or anything like that. Going then into this EQ, we have just a low cut at like 90 hertz, then a little low mid cut at 200, another at 625, a little boost at 1.5K, dip around 5K for that harsh sibilant area, and then a top end boost. This is not a will work for everything, obviously, type thing if you were mixing, but for quickly just throwing up a chain that you can just record into that's low CPU intensive, no third-party plugins, this simple chain will work, and it will sound pretty good too. It will get you sounding things that sound a lot better than just raw, and that's what we don't want. So after that EQ, we're going into this little reverb. Now this reverb, you can control how much of it you want or not with this dry wet knob here at the bottom, so bear that in mind. If you come back to this video and you're like, oh god, how do I, you know, have more or less reverb, just this dry wet knob will do. That's feeding then into this little delay. It's on a tiny 4.8%. It's just a little, it's not slap. I think it's just quarter note or eighth note. I can't remember exactly. This will have obviously change depending on the tempo of the song. But you can just leave everything the way it is and it will sound relatively perfect. So my ideal way for recording through this vocal chain would be I'd come to the Vox rec I would make sure to set my correct input. So right now my input's coming through 3 for this vocal. I'm not going to actually do it because I'm recording my vocal elsewhere right now for the purpose of this video. But I would then have this, you can either have it on auto or in. You enable your record, you press record, your track is going to come out like this. So it's going to record. Once I have this track, I essentially, if this is my final vocal take, I'm going to bring it down to the lead. And if it's a hook, I can bring it down here. And if it's a backing, I can have it here. Now, if you want to just duplicate these and have more, so if you want to have like 5 backings, you can just duplicate them down like that. That's Command D or Control D. Or you can simply just right click and duplicate. So I'm just going to show a quick vocal going through this quick and easy chain, just to give you an example of what it does sound like. I'm a bad boy, shame on me. If you feel like you've lost joy, then take a knee. For a quick recording and just straight into it, that does not sound too bad at all. I would be happy with that, especially in demo format, especially if you just want something you can quickly just hear straight out. How's it going to sound when it's properly recorded? That is fantastic. Moving on to the guitar bus, pretty much the same identical process. I have the guitar rec, then I have guitar middle, guitar left, guitar right. And on the bus, I have this little chain. So there's a few more things on the guitar one that I just want to show you real quick. Just to kind of explain the options you have in the guitar bus. So starting off first, we have a compressor. The attack and release on this one is actually replicating an LA3A. This is a very famous old guitar compressor that's used on pretty much every electric guitar that you know. So again, the sweet spot on all these channels for recording is negative 10 dB. I'm going then into this EQ, a low cut at 124, a little cut at 144 just to clean up the muddiness a bit. Same going on with the 300 hertz cut. Then I'm moving into a small little cut at around 850, a boost at 1.5, and a high shelf at nearly 5.5K. So then we have our guitar options. So I have 3 little plug-in modules here. We have an overdrive, a phaser, or a flanger, or a doubler if you want. You can switch them here. And also a reverb. So these are controlled just by turning them on or off, like so. And as you can see here, there's a drive knob. And if you want more distortion, drive it up. If you want less, take it off. If you want none at all, just turn it off. With the flanger, same thing. If you want more or less, dry wet knob. Reverb, exact same thing, less or more. It's very easy to use and very simple. I know there's a lot going on the screen for any beginners out there, but just if you come back to this video and just go to each part that you struggle on or feel like the information is missing or you're confused, just come back here and you will find all the answers. Okay, so moving on to the bass, same structure goes. I have the group recording. I have 2 bass tracks here just in case you want to comp. If you don't know what comping is, you can check out my last video. I kind of describe it a bit more in detail. And essentially on this, I have a bass amp driving into an 1176 style compressor again with the attack around 4, release around 7. Again, sweet spot, negative 10 dB. I'm just using this chubby bass amp. I altered a few settings to get it sounding as close to my Ampeg SVTR plugin. This is what I usually use on bass. It's fantastic, but I tried to match it as close as I could with this preset. It's not entirely the same, but will it do for a demo? And is it like 70-80% there? Yes. I'm aiming for around 5 dB compression on the compressor there, and there's a small cut here, a low shelf, 25 hertz, little low cut, low mid cut, 220, small boost at 1K and a top end boost at 3, just a high shelf. So as you can hear, if you're listening to it on a phone, you mightn't hear exactly what's going on there. But if you're in headphones or in speakers, you'll hear the big difference on that bass, especially if you're making demos. You want it to feel like you have a bass cab if you're just recording directly. So this, for me, is great. Now moving on, this might be a bit advanced, but I wanted to include a drum group just in case you are lucky enough to have enough mics or have a drum kit and a room to record quickly in, just to see what a track feels like. You still want it to feel like properly recorded drums. If you want that, I've set up this chain going directly through everything. I'm just going to quickly go through so you can see it all. I'm not going to go through it all. This is the drum group and this is how it sounds. And if you want to access this, you can get this template and you'll have everything. So then on my mix bus, I have a glue compressor, attack, slow, release really quick, and it's doing a little soft clipping. This is kind of acting as the limiter at the end. If you want to put a limiter on it, you can. I don't want to do that here because you might get things a bit too hot and drive into that limiter and make it seem like you're not in the red, even though you are. So I want you to know whether you're in the red or not. So that's why the little safety net of the soft clip is nice, but not that hard limiting to let you get away with getting it really loud. So that's pretty much everything. I hope you found value in this and it helped you out a bit when recording. Like I said, you can make this yourself, or you can go to the description below. There will be a link where you can purchase this. I'm only going to put it up for a small price, so go check it out. And if it's something that you find value in, it'll really support the channel and help me keep making these videos and making templates like this for other DAWs or for more advanced things. I'm looking into making a Pro Tools recording template. So again, thank you guys so much for all the supports on all their videos recently. And if you want to support me more, get this template. That's all I have for today. Thank you very much for watching.